everyone, and thank you so much for joining me for another weekly dinner mashup. Monday night, my husband was wonderful and he made this wonderful meatloaf dinner, served it with some mashed potatoes, gravy, and a side of peas to go with it. It was great. So Tuesday was tuna chip casserole. Now this isn't the healthiest meal, but when you want some comfort food, it's really good. So the first thing you're going to want to do is open up a can of tuna and drain any liquid. It doesn't matter if you use tuna in water or tuna in oil, just drain the liquid real good. 1 can of cream of mushroom soup. We're also going to do 1 cup of peas. Now if you're doing canned peas like I am, you are going to want to rinse them really good because the flavor of it is way too strong for the dish. Now for the chip part of the recipe, you're going to want 1 cup of crushed chips. This is just regular salted chips. This is why this recipe isn't so healthy. But it's great if you have like a bag of chips that's been sitting in your pantry for a little too long and you don't know what to do with it and you're thinking of throwing it out. Just crush them up and throw them in the casserole. 1/2 cup of milk gets mixed in there too. And we're going to give this a mix, pop it in a casserole dish. And I know it is not the most appetizing looking thing, but let me tell you, it tastes great. So we're gonna pop that in the casserole dish. I didn't even bother spraying the casserole dish. It's not really necessary. And then you're gonna pop this into the oven for about 25 minutes at 325. You don't have to cover it because you want the top to get nice and dried out. And that's the final dish there. You can serve it with bread on the side. So next is just chicken dinner with scalloped potatoes. So I'm just doing the chicken in my air fryer. I did 350 for 15 minutes, but it did need to go back in for another 5, so it wasn't ready. And I have my scalloped potatoes. I just prepped them as the package directed, and they're in the oven right now as well. So now I'm just making a salad to go with it on the side. I had this little bit of lettuce in my fridge. I needed to use it up because it was going to go bad if I didn't. And then I just topped it up with some spinach, just so there was a little bit more to go with it. And then I went ahead and chopped up some tomatoes, some red bell peppers, carrots, and I keep green onion chopped up in my freezer, so I'm just adding that as well. It's not the same flavor if it was fresh green onion, but it still gave it a nice flavor. I got this salad recipe spinner as a gift, and I'm finally using it. So I did the honey mustard recipe that was on there and just tossed it in. And there's the final dish there. This was Thursday. So Thursday, again, I needed something quick. So Thursday I did lemon pepper salmon here, which I'm just sprinkling on some lemon pepper. And as you saw in the previous clip, I had a fancy feast rice going in the pot, and then I just stuck the steamer on top of it so I could steam some broccoli. So here's the salmon here just cooking up. Once the salmon's cooked, rice is cooked, and broccoli is nice and steamed, you just serve it up, and there's the final dish there as well. Very basic, very straightforward, very easy. All right, so our last dish here is chicken enchiladas. So I just chopped up some onions. I have them in the pan now. They're just sauteing away. I'm chopping up some garlic, and then I'm gonna also chop up some cilantro. Once those onions have sauteed for a little bit, which a lot of it, because clearly I burnt some, but I added in the garlic. And then once that sautés for just a minute longer, I'm gonna go ahead and add in my chicken. Now this was rotisserie chicken that was already been cooked. I pulled it apart and put it in my freezer, so now I just had ready to go chicken. So I broke it up a little bit and I added in my cilantro. Gonna add in some cumin on top of that for some flavor, and then we're also going to add in some oregano as well on top. Best part about this recipe is that it didn't call for Rotel, but I needed tomatoes and I needed green chilies. I didn't have a can of green chilies at home, so I just used a can of Rotel, which I had both. Once this sautés and heats up real good and you give it a good mix through, now it is time to fill our tortillas. So I went ahead and sprayed our aluminum pan there, and I'm just filling the tortillas. I'm not filling them like huge full, or else they're not going to wrap nicely and they're just going to fall apart on you in the pan. So I'm just rolling up our tortillas there. And then I'm placing them seam side down in the pan. This is going to help to make sure that they don't unravel on you while you're working away trying to roll up the other ones or while they're cooking. So you're just going to continue that same process with the rest of your filling. I think I ended up getting 7 in there. I think you see 6 in the next clip, but I managed to get another one down the side. Once those are all rolled up, we're going to open up our enchilada sauce. I don't have a homemade recipe for enchilada sauce, and this was the first time we were trying this red enchilada sauce. It was actually really good. So you just make sure that your enchiladas are all nicely covered, and then you sprinkle cheese on top of it. This is going to go into the oven. We're going to put some foil on it first so that it has time to heat up and bubble up nicely without getting too hard and crispy on the top. So we're going to pop this in the oven at 350 for about a half an hour. At about 10 minutes before the half hour, I take the foil off so that the cheese can crisp up just slightly. And there's the final dish there. We obviously got to it before I was able to film. We were super hungry. Thank you so much for tuning into this week's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you're liking the recipes that you see. Also, if you have a recipe suggestion, go ahead and leave it down in the comments below and I can actually give it a try right on the channel in a weekly video. Thank you so much again for watching, and we'll see you next week. Bye.